an Unspoiled Network podcast.
This is Unscrupled, covering Angel, Season 3, Episodes 19 and 20, The Price and a New World. In these episodes, our least favorite baby is back. He's also no longer my least favorite or a baby. Welcome to Unscrupled. Well, howdy there, bitches.
What up, money?
So, yeah, we watched some Angel.
Yeah.
This is not good. I don't know if it's in comparison to, like, Buffy is firing on all cylinders, and it is nothing but adrenaline and emotion, and Angel's just fucking treading water.
Yeah, the two shows stopped coordinating at some point, and their tonal difference is quite pronounced.
Yeah, so I don't know how to feel about this. It seems like there's just, like, let's have as many people in the hotel as possible. It's clearly, like, this slug episode has exactly one other location, which is a frozen yogurt shop.
Smoothies, dude. Smoothies. Pay attention.
Smoothies a thing yet? I guess so, because...
Oh, God. Early thousands? Yeah, smoothies were the thing.
Bridget Jones loved her some smoothies.
Yeah, so. She did.
Yeah, so we have some episodes where, like, spoiler alert, Connor comes back. And the only reason I don't hate him anymore, because he's played by Vincent Kartheiser, and I kind of like Vincent Kartheiser.
Oh.
What?
Okay.
Why are you giving me that look?
I don't have a look.
Yes, you do.
No.
Anyway, like, around a couple of years before this, like, I think it was my favorite kid movie ever came out.
Okay.
It was called Masterminds.
Okay.
And it was about this kid who's been expelled from a private school. Mm-hmm. But he still has to take his little sister there every day.
Aww.
And on this one day, he's taking them, and a group of Die Hard-esque terrorists take the school hostage.
Oh, no.
And he's crawling around in the ducks playing, like, basically doing teenage Home Alone on these terrorists. But, yeah, and, like, the principal who hates his fucking guts is also, like, his ally. And she looks like... You ever meet a woman who works in public service, but you know would make a great biker dyke?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know that.
Like,
she's like always named Joan or something.
Hard as nails, in her 50s, and and you know she's a lot tougher than she puts up, and, like, I have very fond memories of that movie. I don't know if it's held up because I only saw it the once, but, yeah, I know it's stupid.
Well, it's a kid's movie. It's supposed to be kind of dumb.
Yeah, it's really dumb, but it's also a lot of fun. So I'm like, oh, look, it's Vincent Kartheiser being a badass, and this is the tail end of his badassery as he moved into the Mad Men era.
Oh, yeah.
Wearing suits, and I don't care. So.
Yeah. Well, we're about to see an interesting side of the young man. But back to the slugs.
What do we want to say about these slugs? Like, I mean, guys, I'm not trying to shortchange you on content here, but it's just so much filler.
Yeah, for once, I fucking agree with you that we don't need a Monster of the Week to get everyone to talk about their feelings.
I know.
Just have an episode where everyone has conversations and don't have these stupid fucking gross slugs. Oh, God. They're so unpleasant and so unnecessary, and
I don't even find them unpleasant. Like, I
just hate them.
I had already seen Event Horizon, and like body horror has been done, and this is really kind of lame. So
my question for the world is, why didn't they use salt?
I don't know.
Okay.
So, I'll try to talk, like, I just don't want to talk about the slugs at all. Like,
okay, let's just ignore the slug part and talk about everybody's feelings.
Okay, so
Who should we talk about first?
let's talk about the Gruselug.
Oh, the Gruselug.
I love the Gruselug. I hate his new haircut, but like he's so simple and sincere and just.
Yeah, I also love the Gruselug. It's hard not to love the Gruselug. He's just, well, Cordy calls him a golden retriever or something, or like a big puppy. You know, he's big and good-natured and strong and protective, and he's super happy to see you, and he can go all night. Wait, we're not talking about dogs anymore, I hope. Anyway, so, yeah, she's super into him, and that's cool. But of course we have to, like, pretend that there's tension.
Yeah, this kind of artificial tension where Cordy is trying to do right by her friend and boss, and she's doing what she can to keep him emotionally stable, and Gru doesn't understand how priorities work. Like,
well, he only heard part of it. He only heard part of the conversation because how contrived can we possibly be? And he's a simple dude. He doesn't have a lot of experience with complex emotion or polyamory. So in his world, like, the worst thing that could happen was, you know, he loses a fight. But he never even did that. So, like, he probably can't handle failure very well. But yeah, he doesn't get when things have more than 3 steps.
Yeah, he also doesn't get that, like, I don't understand him. I don't expect him to understand the concept of work. Like, I have this job. They pay me in paper so that I can continue to live.
Yeah.
And have a place to sleep. In order to do that,
for your labors.
In order to do that, you need to, like, keep the place running. And one way to keep the place running is to keep your mascot not crying all the time. So, like, Cordy has a priority here. And yes, she loves Gruselug, but she's kind of got that thing on lockdown here. So she's got to focus some energy on keeping Angel together. And she's the only one on Earth who ever would. Cordy, of all people, is actually concerned about the emotional well-being of Angel.
Yeah, it's weird for all of us.
How did we get here? It's such a journey.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cordy's got that terrible haircut that I hate, and
I think it's kind of cute, but it is dykey haircut number 6.
It's a dykey haircut on a very conventionally attractive, cis, very clearly straight woman.
Oh, which turns it into Karen's haircut.
Exactly.
She wants to speak to your manager, guys.
Exactly. Yeah, and so I guess that's what Gruselug is up to, other than killing some things, which he's very good at.
Yeah. He does help out with the killing of things and the looking and the look of confused hurt. He's got that down pat.
Yeah.
Gruselug has black eyes. Have you noticed that? Mm-hmm. And it's so weird for him having, like, scary ass eyes, but also that little crinkled brow and slight frown. It's like, aw, you little sweet half demon guy.
Because I kind of want...
Who needs rubs?
Cordy to retire and go away with him somewhere. Because, like, yeah.
Go teach him to person. Take him to college. Put him in a women's studies class.
Yeah, I feel like Cordy would do very well in college, even as a non-traditional student.
Oh, yeah, she'd be great.
Mm-hmm. She knows how to work a system.
She'd call everyone stupid within the first week.
Right, and she also knows how to deliver what's expected of her while also being, voicing her disapproval.
Mm-hmm. She got into great colleges. She was a good student for all that she was, vapid and shallow.
Right. So, yeah. So that's what the Gruselug is up to. It's kind of what Cordy's up to.
Yeah, Cordy, she didn't have a lot to do in this episode other than stand by her man and, yeah, glow.
What was that about?
Cordy's entire purpose in this episode was to be Deus Ex Machina.
And I'm so bothered by how they have not brought back Cordy having training with Angel. Like
Yeah.
this is the second time that we've seen a very intense situation. Cordy has trained with stuff. She might not be as good at as Gunn or Angel, but she can hold her own in a fight. We've seen her do it. Like, why are you not like? Why is she still being a damsel? I thought that's what Fred was for.
Yeah, that is what Fred is for, and I really wish Fred would like get some ranged weapon ability or something because I'm sick of her cowering.
I am sick of Fred so much, but
That
so
did
apparently
not take long.
one of her half demon powers is to glow.
And apparently her glow is made of salt because it killed all the slugs but left everything else fine.
Mm-hmm.
That was so much bullshit.
Yeah.
That's not an answer. That's not like even by TV show standards where it's like, oh, well, look in this conveniently placed book and it will have a spell. At least then you have a little bit of agency. You have to pick up the book. You have to read the spell. You have to say it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
No. This is put Cordy near slugs. Cordy goes nuclear. Slugs are no longer an issue. Ta-da! Lazy.
Also, like, we had this whole thing where I was super proud of Cordy, where she's like, I'll take the half demonness, if it means the world is going to not blow up.
Right.
And so far, there has not been a downside for her. Like, she can levitate, she no longer has seizures, and she can glow. Like, what sacrifice is she supposed to make here? Because that's why I was so impressed with her character development here. And thinking back to the Cordy we met on the very first day of sophomore year of, or Buffy's first day at least, and seeing how she became who she is now, but like, where's the sacrifice?
Well, they did say that the initial process, that like couple of minutes where they were transforming her, would be exquisitely painful. So maybe she and they said for her it would seem like a lot longer. So maybe she was screaming for 6 months.
But that's not something you can put off screen if you're making her make a sacrifice.
And she probably would have mentioned it a couple of times by now. It's like, yeah, I was screaming for like 6 months, guys.
Right. There's no cost to her for this.
What do you think that means?
I don't know. It means that Cordy is going to play a role, but like, I haven't seen her. She doesn't seem to have any handicap. She's not physically altered in any way.
What if it's a price that just hasn't shown up yet?
Well, then it's stupid.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, it's just, now she's got powers, and if she doesn't know how to control her powers, then she needs to not be able to control them in places where it is inconvenient for them to not be controlled. Not just convenient. You know?
Right.
Or else it's just bullshit. So I'm not here for it.
Okay. I appreciate that. All right. Who's next?
Let's talk about Fred.
Okay. Fred gets put in an awkward position in this episode.
Yeah, and it's more of this kind of gross Joss Whedon using women's bodies to do other things. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna go with she was made to research stuff that she can't even read, but yeah, the whole slug attack thing too. Pretty much everything Fred wanted or tried in this episode was thwarted in a humiliating way, making her appear weak and without agency. And I think that's might contribute to why you hate Fred, because she's continuously painted as the damsel, and it's pissing me off because she has
no redeeming qualities. She is like the book Cersei of this show.
Okay, I don't. She's nice.
Yeah.
And she used to build stuff. She hasn't built anything for a while.
Yeah, it's just, if she's supposed to be competent at something, we both need to see her be competent at that thing a lot. Also, we need to see that confidence bleed over into other areas of her life.
Yeah.
So, otherwise, she's just not an interesting character.
That's fair. But I did feel for her when Angel's like, do research, and she's like, I don't know this. It's not my thing. And he's like, I don't care. It's all our hopes are resting on you, Fred. Fuck you, Angel. Jesus. She's saying she can't do it. You have an expert you could call on speed dial. You just won't because you're too proud.
Yeah. So that's Fred. Gunn doesn't have much to do either here. Except, Gunn is also not willing to talk to Wesley, but not until it means that that's going to get Fred killed. Right.
So Gunn, he does a whole lot of not much this episode. He's guarding Fred. He does a shitty job because she gets eaten by slugs. And he's just failing left, right, and center. But yeah, I do appreciate that when it comes right down to it, the thing that's most important to him is, saving his girlfriend.
Yeah, and so he makes that compromise and he goes to see Wesley, who's being stoic and standing around and not saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but still gives him the answer. I mean, he's like, fuck you, you guys turned your back on me, I was doing my best, you didn't even let me explain, but also, here you go, don't let Fred die. Bitch, get out of my house.
Yeah. So, again, another character who is here too much, which is Wesley,
You want him to just go?
Or die or something. I'm not here for, it's very clear to me that eventually Wesley will be back in the fold.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not, then you've just wasted a bunch of time. Why? You've wasted a bunch of my time. Why did you have him survive getting his throat slit if he's just going to fuck off anyway? You see what I'm getting at?
I do. But you think those are the only options?
I mean, what? This show doesn't the Buffyverse doesn't seem to put a whole lot of stock in having main characters outside the Scooby gang.
Okay.
That just doesn't really happen. Not even Spike.
That's fair.
Had any distance. So it's every time I see his name in the credits, I'm like, oh, we're still treading water with that shit. And this isn't how it's going to live forever because you can't fold Wesley into these stories, so he's going to have to play a role of some kind.
Okay.
So it's just it's annoying, and I'm kind of just get to the fucking point already.
Okay. So that's Gunn and covering Wesley as well.
Lauren is there.
Yeah. And I forget if Lauren does anything at all.
I don't think he does.
He's just there.
He's just there. I think he comments on the ballroom, how it would make a great nightclub, which is not a bad idea.
Yeah!
You guys need income, and
seriously,
you need to launder all that dirty money you're stealing from bad guys. So.
It's got a swimming pool, guys.
Be a great sort of... Got a fucking swimming pool. That thing is probably so goddamn nasty.
Oh, yeah.
No,
they've got to get a contractor in there and see if there's mold. But... Yeah. But, I mean, after they do that, it would make a great nightclub, and then Lauren could have something to do again.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool. And who doesn't want to have a nightclub in their hotel?
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so I think...
Do you know how much money you could get, renting out those rooms for people to have sex and or crash?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's worse than bottled water at the airport when you're that fucking desperate, you know?
Yeah, you're right. $500.
It's also way the hell out there. Who wants to drive?
Right? Yeah. And yeah, you're probably drunk already, and back then cabs didn't exist in LA. There's no way to get around.
They still don't exist in LA.
Yeah, but we have Uber.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, anyway. I think that's pretty much all Lauren did.
And we talked about the hotel, which I think was the most interesting part of this episode, which is...
Yeah, we went all over the damn place.
They have a kitchen, they have a ballroom, and they have a pool, none of which we've seen before.
Right. I think the Angel Scoobies really need to invest more time in their home and just really explore the shit out of that place. It's not haunted anymore, guys. You can just go do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to squat in the West Wing.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we've got Angel left, and we've got the Wolfram and Hart folks left.
Let's talk Angel, because Wolfram and Hart is the only interesting part of thinking about this.
Right.
And
okay.
What is, other than, whoops, my bad, I opened a portal in our fucking living room.
Yeah.
What else is going on here?
Angel's struggling to cope with the loss of his son. Refuses to change the room that he had been raising Connor in.
That's such a fucking trope, and I hate it. Where they keep everything the same. At some point, you're like, I get that Angel's not very deep into it yet, but at some point, you're going to be like, let's get rid of this stuff. It's just sitting there.
Well, why would he? He can just move into another room and keep that one forever as a shrine to his lost child. And let's face it, we've all known people who totally did that.
I mean, I get the shrine part. I just don't get I'm going to leave the room exactly how it was. With the bed unmade and the fucking comic books everywhere. And
because then you can pretend that you can just go back
but
to
you
that
can't
day.
because...
But you can't, but he's not there yet. It's like been 2 weeks. What do you want from him? It's a hard thing. And he's doing his best. At least he didn't go dark side and start killing humans again.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So, yeah. But, yeah, that's Angel.
And then the portal opens up and they kill the monster, and then Connor comes through and kills the monster.
Yeah.
So,
with one punch.
Right.
Good job, bro.
And then he tries to shoot Angel.
Yeah, with his weird... Okay, so the outfit this kid is wearing, and I don't know if you're old enough to get this reference, but there was a fucked up Peter Pan cartoon in the 80s where Peter Pan didn't wear green. It wasn't through Disney.
Mm-hmm.
It was just... He wore this, like, brown outfit, and he looked like shit and stuff, and it was the worst cartoon. I hated it so much. But Connor looks just like that kid.
Okay.
And 3 people in our audience are going to be like, yeah, I'm punching the air right now. But the rest of you are all just, like, beside yourself with, I don't give a fuck. And I respect that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what clothes would look like if you live in a jungle all your life. So.
A hell swamp jungle?
Yep. So, yeah, and then we get into our second episode where it's Angel basically hunting for Connor. Do the other people actually do anything in this episode?
No, it's the Angel and Connor show. But, rewind.
Okay.
Wolfram and Hart, we were going to talk about that.
Oh, that's right. Wolfram and Hart. And they have the spider that is the password keeper.
Man, I want that spider.
That's so gross.
It's the only time I've ever said that. I don't like spiders. They're weird and gross. I have dealt with tarantulas in the wild jumping at me because they jump at you and they squeal. Bet you didn't know that. But yeah, spiders are the worst. But if I could have a spider that just knew all my passwords, that'd be tight. And I want it because I don't know all my passwords and it's killing me.
It exists. It's called LastPass. You don't actually need a spider.
But I want the spider. Can I get a LastPass shaped like a spider?
No, it's
why not?
It's a free digital tool.
Can I make the icon a spider?
You probably can.
I'm sure I can. You do not support my enthusiasm for this.
I also do not support your demanding a spider because it means you're going to use the same 3 passwords you've been using for the last 20 fucking years.
No, I'd give the spider new ones so that I wouldn't have to remember them. Because I can't remember new things because I'm over 35. It's like being a memento, guys.
Yeah, so we have Gavin and Lila, and this felt like more filler because they didn't have any bearing on the rest of the episode.
Nope, it was basically Gavin going, "You're not doing a good enough job bringing Angel to the dark side." And she's like, "What are you talking about? He, killed a human for no good reason. I'm doing a great job. Oh, and his kid was sucked into a hell dimension with nothing. What are you talking about, Gavin? You're talking out your ass. That's what."
Sure.
That's totally what happened. It's like word for word, guys.
I mean, and we had them, and then they don't do anything in the second episode either. They're not even there.
Nope.
So, what was the point of this scene? I get that the spider is cute, but, did they film that? And just well, we didn't find an episode to put it in, so let's fill it in here.
1, it's filler, and 2, it's reminding you that Wolfram and Hart is still in the mix and still watching them. It's keeping them fresh in your mind.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. Sorry, guys, I'm yawning because it's Saturday and it's a lazy Saturday afternoon. And we're going to a play later.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the next episode, but let's take a short break.
All right, we'll be back in now seconds. So, so we get what feels like a rejected episode of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where they're running, like, one of them's running through the sewer, and the other two are running in broad daylight, and this feral kid from another dimension is riding on top of a bus. I'm like, this is an 80s cartoon here. What is going on? Who wrote this thing? Don't answer that.
I don't want to.
It's just, like, I was so weirded out. Like, what am I watching?
It was a very big difference from the last episode, which was, like you said, one location.
Yeah.
All soundstage. And, sounds like generic sound stages. Like, they didn't spend any money on the last episode, so they can spend a whole bunch on this one, because they used a lot of special effects.
Did they?
Yeah. Anytime you have to have vampire faces morph, that's X number dollars.
Okay. So this opens with Connor shooting at his father and also at someone else, and Angel taking the bullet for him.
I think it was going toward gun or something. And yeah, Angel takes a stake to the shoulder.
And so many vampires get randomly hit in the heart with stray pieces of wood. Like, I remember distinctly Buffy kicking a vampire in the balls so that he flies up and bumps into a tree with a branch sticking out, and it hits him in the heart. How does Angel take 3 wooden stakes and it doesn't hit his heart? Because I'm feeling like they are just, like, vampire hearts are just magnetic towards wood.
I feel like there's a splintering effect on a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, Angel should be dust right now, because as we've said many times before, vampires are made of pudding.
Yeah.
And you get wood anywhere near them, and they just explode.
Play back what you just said.
You get wood somewhere near them, and they'll explode.
Vampires are made of pudding. You get wood anywhere near them, and they just explode. It's just...
It's one of my better sentences. Anyway.
That was a very Vanjie sentence right there. Just...
I had no idea where it was going. No, you're right.
Yeah, so there's a quick fight, and he runs out, and there's the stupid on the bus thing, and, and then we get Connor in this tributary of the LA River.
Under the bridge downtown.
I don't know what you're singing.
Oh, it's a song from the 90s. It was alt rock, and it's about suicide, but it's also about bridges in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Yes.
So, he runs into this maybe prostitute drug addict. Maybe prostitute, definitely drug addict.
Yes.
Who's being pushed around by local crime lord.
Who is also her dealer.
Her dealer. So it's not her pimp. No,
it's not her pimp. He's totally her dealer, because she's like, just give me a little teenth. I got some CDs. I can sell you these CDs. You want to just give me a little bit, baby? I need it. And he's like, these CDs suck. And she's like, no, they rock.
All right. So, yeah. Then there is a fight between Connor and these bad people.
Yes.
And he kicks their ass, which I'm kind of here for.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
So, like, yeah, I mean, if we're introducing a new character, a good way to do it is to have him just kick the ass of a couple people.
Yeah, that we don't care about.
But I'm also like, it's such a cartoony villain.
Yeah. Because drug dealers are always bad, kids.
Yeah, and it's very one-dimensional, and like every evil thing you can imagine is in this person.
Yeah, he
doesn't seem to understand, like, junkies are the best customers. Like, you need repeat business.
Yeah, you don't...
you can't just kill them.
Yeah, because then the well's dry.
Exactly.
Yeah. They could go steal from their parents. There's more money to get from them.
Exactly. So, but she prevents him from killing this dude, and instead he cuts off his ear.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got a bunch of ears on his sash.
Yeah, I saw he had some things on there. I wasn't sure if they were all ears or just random other body parts from things and people and demons he's killed.
Well, they're trophies, but he seems to prefer ears.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And then we have this weird pseudo-romance with this junkie girl who takes him to a motel.
And happens to have clothes that will fit him that are not
not
the worst.
Scraps of leather with chunks of meat on them.
Yeah, but also, have you ever known a junkie in their homeless hideout to have things that weren't covered in something vile?
I've never known a junkie as the TV portrays them.
Okay, well...
But let's talk about the junkie hideout here, because here is an abandoned motel, and this was the early aughts.
Uh-huh. Property
prices were going up. There is no abandoned hotel that is not immediately taken by a speculator.
That's fair. Are we okay?
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. It's just telling me my battery's running low.
Okay. But...
And actually, I'm going to pause and deal with that.
Okay, that's a good plan.
All right, we're back, and we're plugged in.
Woohoo!
So, yeah, this motel, it's strange credulity to me that in Los Angeles, there is a place where there's nothing but junkies hanging out. Look at all that real estate.
I feel ya. I just gotta say, LA's a big place, and there are places that can have, a few months, maybe even a year, where they're empty and waiting for all the paperwork to come together.
Right.
But stuff does happen pretty fucking quick here. There's not a lot of things that don't get bought and handled with swiftness, because there's just no space. We're the most sprawling city ever, and there's just no space.
Right, because there's too much parking.
Yep. And still not enough.
Yeah.
Yep, we need public transport, guys.
We've actually got pretty good public transit. Just very few people know it's here.
Yeah, we need better advertisement for it, guys. Anyway, so back to Angel.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they're in this motel, and they're, squatting, and Sunny, the girl, manages to get a bunch of snacks and things.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has Connor change, and he gets all naked in front of her, and he's kind of ripped.
Yeah, Vincent Kartheiser looked good.
Yeah.
So.
And he has his first, what was that, ho-ho, a ring ding?
Yeah, sure.
Some kind of hostess cake, and is quite pleased by it, as any, new to Earth young man would be. And yeah, they start, she talks for a long time about stuff, and he kind of gets some of it, and they start making out, as, teenagers are wont to do. And then she decides that she needs to go get high first before they have sex.
Mm-hmm.
In the way that everyone does. And he sits there gleefully basking in the not being attacked at the moment, and then wonders where she is, and goes to find her dead with a needle in her arm.
Yeah.
Can you get more heavy-handed, guys?
It was unnecessary.
Yeah.
And just kind of dumb, and it's very after-school special. It's like, don't fuck with junkies.
Yeah.
Like, you can't give them any shred of humanity, the one nice one you kill right away.
Oh, yeah. And I know what they're trying to go for. Oh, look, Earth is just as hellish as Kortoth. Wahaha. No, that's not what I'm getting. What I'm getting is...
Bad writing.
Bad writing. These two episodes are just bad writing. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
It all makes sense now.
And, yeah.
And just then, Angel walks in, having tracked Connor to this very hotel.
Yes, and there's a confrontation, but then there's also a confrontation with drug dealer and his boys who show up. And then, where are the shots coming from? Are those Wolfram and Hart people?
I don't
Like,
I
the whole
don't
place
know.
gets lit up with bullets.
Oh, I think that might be the cops.
You think it's the cops?
It might be the cops.
Okay.
The actual for real cops.
Yeah, there's a fight, and I think it's supposed to be like, this is where Connor is realizing that Angel is good because he's going after bad people.
Something
like that. And all the drug dealers get killed, and then there's I think our closing shot is Connor running into Holtz, who is now an old man.
Yeah.
This is the second time he's been in a timey-wimey situation.
Yeah, he's got to be sick of that.
Yeah. And he says, "Hey, Dad," and yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Oh, also, Connor doesn't want to be called Connor. He wants to be called Steven because that's the name he was raised on.
Oh, I totally missed that.
Oh, yeah. Connor wants to be
I'll
called
stop
Steven.
naming him then.
Yeah, Connor prefers to be called Steven, and so...
So yeah, the second
we can use
episode...
them interchangeably.
The second episode was better, but just not good.
Yeah, I feel like they're building to something.
I feel like they're building to something too, and like, it's so far, I'm not thrilled about the build-up. Like, this has been a very disappointing season.
Yeah.
Like, there's been a lot of build-up that has just, like, sputtered out. Like, we've had Justine and Holtz and Darla.
Yeah.
All this stuff has just turned out to be nothing.
Yeah. I feel like, okay, so if the build-up is akin to me trying to change one of the light bulbs in our very high ceilings, I'm piling up pillows to stand on in order to get there. And I need something more substantial than these pillows, guys. Because I keep sinking into them, and it's not pleasant. And my light bulb is still out.
Yeah. So, yeah, those are our episodes. And, like, guys, I'm sorry. This is the second Angel week in a row where I've just not cared. But you gotta make me care. And I know, like, some of our reviewers are like, why do you even watch it if you don't like it? I don't know if I'm going to like it. How am I supposed to know that? That's the whole point.
I think they're mad that I don't like it more, and that's not true. I love these shows. But I also love picking stuff apart.
Okay.
And yeah, and also, I don't love every episode. Some of the episodes are bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch them anyway because it's still Angel. It's still Buffy. But I'm not going to not criticize it in the same way that, like, you know, I pick on my little brother.
Yeah.
It's just what you do. It doesn't mean I don't love it.
So I've heard a lot of people say that they preferred Angel to Buffy. And I'm struggling to figure out where that starts. Because Angel has some very, very good moments, but the long arc of everything seems to be dragging. The Wolfram and Hart stuff is too few and far between. The antagonists are just... Like, Buffy is investing a lot more time and energy on recurring season-wide big bads that Angel's just not putting that much work into. So, yeah. And also, the rules seem made up as they go along. I mean, don't get me wrong, the fucking magic as heroin addiction was pulled directly out of their ass and does not work, but...
Yep.
So...
I feel you. There is definitely... It's obvious that they didn't have a bigger idea of how all of the magic systems worked before they started writing it. They're just like, we need a plot device. Let's throw magic at it.
Yeah, and, you know, they could, like, throw magic at it and give us more lore at the same time.
Yeah.
But they don't want to do that. They only seem interested in giving us exactly, like, magic is their, it's just their what's the word for this? It's just how they write themselves out of corners. Yeah.
Well, okay, so they really don't want to give us more lore because then they would have to go by their own fucking rules. And, yeah, they don't want to, they don't want those of us who are really intent on detail to be all up in their grill being like, you know, on the Millennium Falcon, the left turbine wasn't really straight, it was curved.
I'm not asking for the left turbine. I'm asking just for a little fucking consistency here. So, yeah, all right. Those are our episodes, guys. Like, I'm sorry this was a short episode because the last Angel episode was a short episode. Natasha, I'm losing faith in you because you said you liked Angel more than Buffy. And I'm not...
Natasha, we gotta talk.
Yeah. So, like, I'm holding out for when this show is supposed to get really good. And don't get me wrong, it's had some chunks that are really good, but they're more entertaining than they are good.
It's soup, not art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although your soup metaphor is whatever.
It's not my metaphor. It's kind of famous.
Okay. Good night, y'all.
Good night. Bye.
That was an Unspoiled Network podcast.